M.2.10 is a trigonometry problem. And we know it's a trig problem because we see that word sine and cosine. And so the immediate place where your head should go is SOHCAHTOA. And that means that the sine is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. The cosine of an angle is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And the tangent of an angle is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. And so you should draw a triangle so you can visualize what this is actually talking about. And so we're talking about right triangles because SOHCAHTOA only applies to right triangles. And I know that the sine of A, so we're just going to pick an angle and let's label it A. The sine of this angle A is equal to 7 over 8. And we know that sine is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So I know that if it's equal to 7 over 8, this is the opposite side of the angle, and this is the hypotenuse. So that means that I'm going to label my hypotenuse 8, and I'm going to label this 7. So the question is, what is the cosine of A? And I know that the cosine with SOHCAHTOA is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, but I don't have an adjacent side. So that means that I'm going to have to label this with something that I don't know, which is an x, and I'm going to have to use our dear friend Pythagoras, the Pythagorean theorem, to figure out what this side is. And so I know that from the Pythagorean theorem that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. And I know that 7 squared plus x squared is going to equal to 8 squared. And if I expand this out, I'm going to get 49 plus x squared is equal to 64. If I subtract 49 from both sides, we end up getting x squared is equal to 15. And in order to find out what x is, I just take the square roots of both sides. And so then we find that x is equal to square root of 15. And so I can plug that right back into the picture. X is equal to the square root of 15. Now, let's go back to the question. Cosine of A is adjacent side, which is this side, over the hypotenuse. So that is the square root of 15 over 8. And lo and behold, that is actually an answer choice. So again, the strategy when you see sine and cosine is to write this down on your paper and draw a triangle so that you can use this information to answer the questions.